Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smart and Safe Small Business Podcast. I am here with Konark, who is the founder of Rural Handmade, which is like Alibaba for sustainable and handmade products. So thank you for joining us, Konark.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
So tell me, what is one problem that you help your clients solve with Rural Handmade?
Well, one specific problem that we are actually helping our clients is essentially what we're looking at is there are a lot of these entrepreneurs who are looking to create sustainable, meaningful brands, but they obviously have issues like limited budget. They have concerns around sourcing. They also have concerns around how sustainable is this. And so what we do is we take these problems and then we connect these entrepreneurs to the communities across the world. And right now we specifically focus on India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. These bunch of communities are exceptionally good at making and creating things, but they lack the reach to the global market. At the same time, they lack the design excellence. So, essentially what we do is we connect these two SMEs, and together they create these wonderful B2C brands for the consumers.
And can you tell me about the sort of businesses that you work with that are purchasing? What's your ideal client that works with Rural Handmade?
So an ideal client, actually, essentially, we have specific sales funnels. So we have entrepreneurs. These are people who sell online, have a Shopify store, or sell on Amazon or Etsy. Then we have retailers and wholesalers, and a lot of them essentially, have shops basically. And then we actually also do work with a lot of charities because we have a lot of fair trade organizations who kind of help them create these nice, gift items for their donors. And finally, we also do work with interior designers, people who kind of, fix hotels. Every now and then they get these, specific requirements of, commissioning a design. So we help them as well.
And tell me, what are the typical symptoms that the entrepreneurs and the e-commerce businesses face when they're trying to source sustainable products on their own?
I think one major problem that we've seen is, and this is sourcing in general, is lack of trust. So what happens is if you go to Alibaba or any other sourcing company, you don't even know if that is a manufacturer, and then you don't even know if that is the right price. With Rural Handmade, we have a very simple, transparent supply chain. So we are a commission-based business. So we only take a specific commission depending on the amount of works we have put in onto the invoice. So there is a 100% transparency as far as the amount of money that you're, giving to the communities or the small manufacturers. That's number one. Number two is quality control. So a lot of times people, when they work with Far East, this is China, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, quality is a major concern. And what we have been able to do the last couple of years is create an ecosystem of maintaining high quality standards. And this is to do with the fact that we have a very strong team on the ground, which help you manage and achieve the right set of qualities for the products that are being made.
And what are some problems what are some common mistakes that these entrepreneurs make when they set out to do this on their own without using a service like yours?
Well, one of the big mistakes that I've seen is, again, they get bitten by the prices because I think when they don't do enough search, they often source expensive products. Second thing they do is they also, when they don't do their due diligence, by the time the shipment reaches, the US or the Europe, it has some defects. It has issues with quality. It has issues with colors, and then it becomes a difficult, process to return the shipment back. And then you're stuck. You have to really sell it, and then you often get on Facebook groups. I have a stock of 500 products, and I want to liquidate it now, and so I can't. So what we're really saying is that we work with you, and we are in your team. At the same time, we are also, helping people who kind of, in the handmade space, these are all, self-help groups and small, family businesses. So it kind of creates a massive sustainable, story around the whole, creating products.
Fifth question here, and we've got 4 minutes left. What is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them with sustainable sourcing?
I think one valuable free action would be, I think, if you're trying to create a brand, start thinking about the change in consumer behavior, especially post COVID. Start thinking of people are going to still ask these things on, who's making it, why it is being made, and why I'm purchasing this brand. So the story has to be very strong.
Got it. And what is one free resource that you can direct people to that will help them solve this problem around sustainable sourcing?
I think there's not one, but if you go to Google, I think a lot of different businesses are using technology to kind of fix problems around sourcing, problems around creating products. So I think if you're just in sync with what's happening in terms of the latest technology, you will have a successful brand.
And I heard that you have an opportunity for listeners around perhaps commission. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, so we just kind of want to help SMEs. We essentially are a business that kind of helps SMEs in either ends, and I know these are difficult times, and for us, we work with a lot of artisan communities, and we are offering a 0% commission on the first order. So this also helps you try our services. At the same time, you can start off by a small budget, create a wonderful product, and then kind of help us sell this service and what we have. So 0% commission for the first order with us.
And how can listeners take advantage of that?
Well, you can effectively go to ruralhandmade.com, drop us a message, say that you listen to this podcast, wonderful podcast by Alex, and we can take it forward from there.
Wonderful. So last question here is, what's one question that I should have asked that would give great value to the listeners and the answer as well?
I think one thing that you should have asked is potentially about the changing consumers' behavior, and what is going to be the next big thing with the buyer's mindset. I think, and I genuinely think the future is all about SMEs. It's not about the big brands. It's about you buy from me and I buy from you, and all of us collectively not go to the big companies. And we've been just looking at the unemployment rates, and it's obviously quite disheartening. At the same time, we all of us as purchasers, as businesses, have an ownership towards helping SMEs, and that's it. So the future is SMEs. We just have to think and empower these SMEs at this stage.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I'm looking forward to catching up with you later.
All right, thank you, Alex. Cheers, man.